who left, I mean, that huge light bulb would hit straight at me. I mean, it was right there. But I don't know. I don't know. It's just luck. No. You know, I choose not to believe it's luck because God has great plans for me and for you guys, for everybody. You know, by the time I was 21, I moved out. I was like, Mom, Dad, I'm moving out. You know, I'm grown. You know, I can take care of myself. I'm moving out. And by the time that I was that age, man, things were going crazy. I just took things for granted. I took life for granted. I didn't care about who I hurt, who I lied to. I didn't even respect myself. I mean, because obviously I just did whatever. I moved out, and I moved out with one of my cousins and my best friend at the time, and we were gonna have a bachelor party, just do everything, have parties, and you know, just do it all, live big. Why not? That's what I thought. And you know, I even quit school. You know, I mean, for what? I mean, school. You know, that's not for me. It was too hard. I always look for the easy way out. Always. Ever since I can remember, and school was too hard. I mean, I tried it 1 semester, 2 semesters, too hard, too much trouble. I quit. So I was just working, and that's it, and partying, and I remember when, right around that time, I was working at Single, and I just quit one day. I just quit. I didn't even tell them anything. I just no-show, whatever, because I met these people that promised me they were going to give me an awesome job, and I did. I started working. Man, when I got that job, I was so happy. I mean, I got like a $5,000 signing bonus. I got, you know, and I was just used to making like $12 an hour, you know. I mean, and at the time, I was making like, I mean, I was 21, so I was really young. I was making like, sometimes, like up to $4,200 a month. I mean, for a 21-year-old kid that only has like $900 worth of bills, I mean, that's a bunch of money, you know? And so I was just blowing in, just not care, anything. And that's when things got really serious for me. I was taking too many risks. I remember another incident. I went down to Lower Greenville and just to the bars and, you know, to clubs and stuff. I remember I was wearing a t-shirt with the image of Jesus Christ right here. And I went out that night, you know, I was partying. I got really drunk that night. And on the way home, I was driving. I should have been driving, but I was driving. All of a sudden, I'm in the middle of Greenville. 2 a.m., people are getting out of bars, clubs, and the streets are packed, there's cops everywhere. I was just driving, all of a sudden, bam! I hit something, my glass was shattered. I freaked out, I didn't know what to do. I turned back around, there was nobody there. No one there, I mean, no one saw anything, no one stopped me, but somehow my windshield was shattered. But there was nobody there. The next day, I turned on TV looking for the news to either hit and run or something. I mean, this is severe. I mean, I thought I hit somebody. I mean, out of nowhere, I hit somebody. My glass was shattered. Something happened. There was nothing. I don't know. Call it what you want to call it. But I took that as a sign that God was speaking to me. You're doing something wrong. Really wrong. And you know, I didn't appreciate what I had, so what happened? I know God started taking all that stuff away from me. I was headed the wrong path so fast, it was scary. He started with that job that I was so happy about, took that away like that. Boss just one day said, don't eat shirts one day. What? I burned the bridge where I had my last job because I just quit. I didn't say anything, so I had no job. You know, still had bills every month. And, you know, after that, my best friend for 5 years, lost him too, my roommate. I don't know what happened. You know, he turns back on me, whatever. God took my best friend away from me too. I was just losing everything. Then my car got broken into. Like, right after that, my system was taken. Everything I had in my car was taken. Window was broken. No job, nothing. I mean, it was so hard to try to pay for these things. It just sucked. And I wasn't at home anymore, so it's not like me like, hey mom, help me out. I mean, it wasn't easy because I had just left. I left thinking I was a man. I'm ready for the world that's out there, but I wasn't. And I don't know how I survived so long with not even being able to pay for stuff. My rent was due. I mean, I was just borrowing money left and right, and it sucked. And then again, my car got broken into because I don't know, man. It's crazy. I remember I had some chrome rims on my car, and I went to go pick them up from my dad's house because they were in the garage. I went to pick them up because I wanted to sell them. I was going to go pawn them because I didn't have any money. The night I picked them up, I had them in my trunk. The next day I was going to go pawn them and get money for them. That night my car got broken into and they were stolen. I was like, God, what else? What do I do, you know? It was scary, you know. I was really scared. I didn't know what to do anymore. And then I finally thought God heard me. I couldn't go through anymore. I got a job, and I was promised so much. I was promised the world. I was promised, man, you're gonna make all this money, blah blah. And instead, I incurred over $8,000 in debt just to survive, to try to make that job work. It didn't even work. For so long, over like a year, I couldn't even take my girlfriend to dinner. I mean, that's pathetic, man. I was like 21, and I couldn't even take my girlfriend to dinner. You know how much of a loser I felt. Then, right around the time that I moved out, right around the time that things were going so downhill for me so fast, I feel like God sent me an angel from heaven to come save me, come save this lost soul. My girlfriend Sheila, she brought me to Dallas First Assembly. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was a little freaked out when I first came. You know, all this shouting and crying and all the passion that was in the room as soon as I walked in and heard the worship. It was something amazing, but I was freaked out. I was really freaked out. I grew up in the Catholic Church, so everything was really traditional, really, nothing passionate. It was just, I went all my life, but it was just really, like just tradition. It was nothing big or anything. It was just tradition. It was nothing, firsthand. And the more I came, the more it made sense to me. I found out that it was about having a relationship with God, and that's what I found. I mean, because that's what it's all about, guys. I mean, it's all about having a relationship with God. It's not about you, it's not about me, it's about God. That's what it's all about. I didn't know this, but did you know that, we all have a purpose. We all have a purpose in this life. You were born with a purpose, with God's purpose, and by His purpose, and for His purpose. Long before you were conceived and I was conceived by my parents and your parents, God thought about you first. It's not luck, it's not coincidence that you're breathing right now. You and I are alive because God, wanted to create you and I. The Bible says, Lord will fulfill his purpose.